All right, so we're diving into pet-friendly apartments in Hong Kong today.
Sounds fun.
It is. And, not just any apartments. We're talking about the ones that truly welcome pets.
Ah, I see. Not just tolerate.
Exactly. We're using this in-depth guide, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's packed with tips, and we're going to unpack it all so you can find the perfect place for you and your furry friend.
A place where everyone's happy.
Exactly. Now, one thing that really stood out to me in this guide was, well, they make this distinction between an apartment that allows pets and one that's truly pet-friendly.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it got me thinking.
Because there is a difference, right?
Huge. What do you think makes an apartment actually pet-friendly?
Well, it goes beyond just saying pets allowed. It's about considering the well-being of the animal. Features, amenities, the whole 9 yards.
Right. So not just a space to exist, but a space to thrive.
Yes, exactly.
Like they even highlight the Rosewood residences in Simshatsui.
Rosewood. Nice.
Yeah, they've got those dedicated pet areas, and then imagine waking up to a view of Victoria Harbor with your dog every morning.
Wow. Talk about luxury living.
Right. But it's not all about fancy views. The guide emphasizes pet-friendly flooring, too. Apparently, that's crucial.
Oh, especially for older dogs, or if you have a breed that's prone to slipping. Makes sense.
Exactly. It's the details we sometimes overlook.
Absolutely. And that's why we're here, to break it all down.
Exactly. Speaking of breaking things down, let's talk location.
Location, location, location.
Right. The guide maps out these popular pet-friendly districts in Hong Kong.
Perfect, because finding the right area for both you and your pet is super important.
Oh, yeah. Hong Kong is such a vibrant city, but also super dense.
Right, so the guide suggests Central or Shengwan, if you love that city buzz.
Ah, okay. For the social butterflies.
Exactly. And then there's Kowloon or Simshatsui, more of a mix of modern and traditional.
Okay, I like that. A little more chill.
Yeah. And actually, the guide mentioned Simshatsui has tons of pet supply stores.
Ooh, convenient. What about those more, well, trendy areas I've heard about? Like Kennedy Town.
Ah, yes. The guide specifically mentioned Kennedy Town.
Yeah.
They even have a group, Paws in the Park. They do dog walks and meetups.
See, that's what I love. Community.
It's essential, especially in a new city.
For sure. Okay, let's move on to those perks you find inside the apartments themselves. The things that elevate a pet's life.
Ah, yes. Because it's not just about having a roof overhead.
Right. It's about creating a comfortable, stimulating environment for your furry friend.
Exactly. And some of these apartments are amazing. They go all out. Like dedicated pet watching stations are becoming super popular.
Oh, that would be amazing. No more wrestling your dog in the bathtub.
Right. And some buildings even have them in unit.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. The guide gave an example in Wan Chai. Super luxurious.
Wow. What else is out there?
Well, on-site grooming is a big one.
Makes sense. Saves so much time.
And one complex in mid-levels, they have a mobile grooming service.
Mobile grooming.
Yeah. It's like a spa on wheels for your pet.
That is brilliant. But okay, let's be real. Hong Kong isn't exactly known for affordability.
True. And pet-related costs can definitely add up.
So, spill the beans. What are we looking at financially?
Well, pet deposits are standard, and they can be hefty and often non-refundable.
Oh,
Yeah. The guide mentioned an average of $450 for a one-bedroom in Happy Valley.
Oof, that's not insignificant.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And then some places even have monthly pet rent.
Wait, on top of the regular rent?
Yep. Plus potential cleaning fees when you move out.
Okay, so it's an ongoing financial commitment, not just that initial deposit.
Right. And that's not including vet bills, food, all the other fun stuff.
Very all the necessities.
Oh.
So being a pet owner in Hong Kong, you've really got to plan for that.
Definitely. But even if you find the perfect place, budget-wise, there can still be some restrictions.
Oh, right, rules and regulations.
Exactly. It's crucial to read that lease carefully.
Yeah. Are there usually breed limitations or size limits?
Oh, absolutely. Even in a pet-friendly building, you'll find specific rules.
Makes sense.
Like in the new territories, the guide mentioned some buildings have restrictions on certain dog breeds.
Ah, especially larger ones, I imagine.
Yeah, for safety and comfort of all residents.
Right, striking that balance. So, best to be upfront with the landlord, ask all the questions before signing anything.
Definitely. Avoid those surprises later on. And you know what else can be surprising?
What's that?
The social side of pet ownership in Hong Kong. It's quite
Yeah.
interesting. It's really something. This guide dives into the pet-friendly community here, and it's fascinating.
Oh, I bet. I mean, connecting with other pet owners can be a lifesaver, especially in a new city. Imagine you're in Hong Kong, your dog needs a groomer. Who do you ask?
Exactly. And that's where these online communities come in.
Oh, right. Like Facebook groups and stuff?
Yeah. The guide mentioned a couple specifically, HK dog owners, cat lovers of Hong Kong.
Ah, makes sense.
People share tips, recommendations, all sorts of stuff, like vets, groomers, you name it.
It's like having a built-in support system. Did they mention anything about, well, places to actually take your pet, like parks or
Oh,
trails?
yeah. They even had some, like, hidden gems.
Really?
Uh-huh. Apparently there's this off-leash area in Sai a bit off the beaten path, but amazing for dogs. And a great hiking trail in the Peak District.
See, that's what I'm talking about, insider knowledge. But one thing I keep coming back to is the space issue.
Ah, yeah, Hong Kong apartments can be, well, compact.
That's putting it mildly,
Ah.
even the pet-friendly ones, right?
Unfortunately, yeah. But the guide does offer some tips for making it work.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Well, they talk about maximizing vertical space. So
Okay.
like wall-mounted cat trees, elevated dog beds, that kind of thing.
Smart. Work with what you've got.
Exactly. And mental stimulation is key too.
Oh, right. Keeping them engaged even if they don't have a ton of space to run around.
Yeah, puzzle feeders, indoor agility courses, that sort of thing.
I love it. Thinking outside the box, literally. But did they talk about pet etiquette at all? What's considered polite in Hong Kong?
They did touch on that. Apparently, leashes are pretty much mandatory in public spaces.
Okay, even in designated pet-friendly areas.
It seems like it, yeah, for everyone's comfort. And dogs usually aren't allowed in shops or restaurants.
Ah, good to know. So it's about being prepared and respectful. Maybe have a portable water bowl, some treats handy for those times when you're out and about.
That's a great idea. And
Yeah.
actually, speaking of being prepared, there's one more thing the guide stressed.
Okay, what's that?
It's managing expectations. Moving to a new city with a pet, it's an adjustment. And Hong Kong is no exception.
Right, even with all the research, there are bound to be bumps in the road.
Exactly. The guide really encourages pet owners to embrace that. Be adaptable, patient, and find creative solutions when things don't go as planned.
That's so important. I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the stress, forget why you made the move in the first place.
Right, to create a happy life for you and your pet.
Absolutely. Speaking of happy, did they mention anything about pet-friendly businesses?
Oh, yes. Apparently there's a growing trend of those in Hong Kong.
Really?
Yeah. Cafes, restaurants with dog menus, even co-working spaces that are pet-friendly. It's becoming much more inclusive.
That's awesome to hear. It sounds like Hong Kong's really embracing the pet-loving lifestyle.
It is. And the guide even includes a list of these businesses, categorized by district. Everything from dog-friendly beaches to, well, you name it.
No way. This is amazing. Did they have, like, cat cafes by any chance?
They did. At least one. I remember seeing it on the list.
A cat cafe in Hong Kong. That's definitely going on my to-do list.
Mine too. You know, this whole conversation has really highlighted the importance of, well, doing your homework.
Absolutely. It's not just about ticking boxes on a checklist. You got to dig deeper, you
And
know?
it's about finding that perfect match for you and your pet.
It really does make you realize there's so much to consider.
Oh, yeah. It's not just about finding an apartment. It's about navigating a whole new city with your pet.
Right. Speaking of navigating, did they mention anything about getting around Hong Kong with a pet?
They do. They have a whole section on transportation.
Oh, good. Because I've heard the public transportation there is great, but I wasn't sure about, bringing a pet along.
Yeah, it can be a little tricky. Small pets in carriers are usually fine on the MTR, their subway system.
Okay, that's good to know. What about dogs?
Dogs need to be muzzled, even the small one.
Oh, interesting. And taxis.
Taxis are a mixed bag. Some drivers are cool with it, some aren't.
So it's best to, call ahead or something.
Yeah, or look into pet-specific transportation services.
Right, like those companies that specialize in that.
Exactly. The guide actually mentions a few. They even do things like vet appointments, grooming trips, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, wow, that's convenient.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have a car in Hong Kong.
Yeah, for sure. Makes things a lot easier.
It really makes you think about all the different aspects of being a responsible pet owner in a city like that.
It does. You've got to be aware of the rules, considerate of others, make sure your pet's well behaved,
Right, it's about more than just finding a place to live. It's about fitting into the community.
Absolutely. And that goes for your pet, too. The guide even talked about preparing your pet for the move itself.
Oh, that's a good point. I mean, moving is stressful for anyone.
It is. So they recommend getting them used to their carrier beforehand, taking them on short trips around the neighborhood.
To get them acclimated.
Exactly. And packing a familiar blanket or toy, something that smells like home.
Oh, I love that. Those little touches can make such a big difference. It's about making them feel safe and secure amidst all the changes.
It really is. It's about that sense of familiarity for both pets and their owners when you move somewhere new.
Absolutely. Finding those things that make you feel at home no matter where you are.
It's so important. And, after going through this guide with you, I'm genuinely impressed.
Me too. It's so thorough. And it goes beyond just the practical stuff. It really captures that bond between pets and their owners.
It does, and how that bond can thrive no matter where you are.
So for anyone out there thinking about moving to Hong Kong with their pet, or even just curious about what it's like, I highly recommend checking out this guide.
Definitely. It's packed with information and might just give you that push you need to embark on your own Hong Kong adventure.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see you and your furry friend at that cat cafe someday.
Huh.
Until then, happy exploring. And may your journey with your pet be filled with joy, discovery, and lots of tail wags.